Welcome to No Shit MMA on thatchannel.com, sponsored by Extreme Couture Toronto. Tonight we have TJ Grant. We also have, yes, and we also have Eddie Bravo.
Yeah.
So TJ just came off a big win at UFC 97, his first time ever in the UFC.
It was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Absolutely. And then we also have Eddie Bravo, who is basically the guru for the rubber guard.
Yeah, he invented the rubber guard, invented.
So
he coined the phrase the rubber guard and developed it into MMA fighting style and developed a whole bunch of sort of the twister and a bunch of specific fight stuff. And
he was also kind of the pioneer with the high guard without the gi, right?
Yeah.
Because the issue with the gi is that you can grab on, you can hold legs and that kind of stuff. And
you don't know anything about the gi, do you?
What are you talking about? Yeah, you can grab on and hold the bottom of the gi to hold your leg up. Whereas without a gi, you have to hook onto your
leg?
No, not your leg. Your ankle or your foot or something.
You don't have to. There's a million other things. But,
right.
If you'd ever fought, then you
right.
know.
Well, I wouldn't know. I haven't trained in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, so there you go.
Good.
Which is part of the reason why I don't fight professionally.
Right.
And you barely fight professionally.
Yeah,
so
I barely do.
That's the discrepancy.
But yeah, Eddie's an interesting character, man. Like, he has some pretty interesting theories on women and marijuana and all kinds of stuff. And we'll talk and music. We'll talk about all that. He's a fun guy. He's going to be a great guest.
I wonder who he's going to talk to about music.
Probably you. I don't know anything.
Yeah, you don't know anything.
I really don't know anything.
You're the worst about music.
I am the worst.
All right. And then also we were at UFC 97 this weekend.
Yeah. Man, how good was that?
That was awesome. And oddly, and I don't know how this happened, but you ended up with slightly better seats than me.
I was in the very, very, very front row right behind the ring girls.
Yeah. In fact, you weren't just actually in the front row. You were in the front row of the press area.
Yes. Yeah. There was like a press table.
Right.
And there was like me, the ring girls, and then the cage.
Right. So you didn't watch any of the fights because you were just staring at the ring girls.
Well, the one kind of has... No, yeah. I don't know. Like,
Don't be kind of has with anything like that.
I was gonna just
what's coming up soon, and I wouldn't recommend.
I was gonna start in with the ring girls, but we're gonna actually have them on the show.
That's right. We're gonna work through and hopefully have them all on the show at some point.
I won't be commenting about surgical procedures of any kind.
How could you possibly even do that when we have we've been talking with Edith, and so hopefully she'll be on the show soon.
Yeah.
When she gets back from Germany.
Yes, but I did have front row seats because I was writing a first-person cage side account of UFC 97 for nationalpost.com.
Really?
The man. Yeah,
really?
They're the man. Yeah.
So you went from being, I hate institutions and I hate the corporate world, and now I'm working for them.
Yeah, I'm working for the man. Oh yeah,
and
the man not only pays you really well, but sits you in the front.
Yeah,
so and I am so corporate.
And then now all of a sudden I'm anti-establishment because I had a great view. If I had a telephoto lens, I would have been able to get some really great shots.
Yeah, but you didn't.
No,
actually. Or binoculars or nothing.
No, I didn't have anything. So I had to rely on. You didn't have
any ring girls near you, did you?
Absolutely not. Actually, where I was sitting, I had a really nice couple right near me who didn't know a lot about MMA, so they were just like me.
Right, nice.
But I was explaining the basic rules of the UFC and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And so just speaking of the National Post, so
nationalpost.com/UFC. That's me.
Right, and apparently it's already had 15,000 hits since Saturday.
Yeah, more.
Well, that was earlier today, so now it's going to be 15,010.
Yeah, everybody wants to read it.
It's cool because you wrote a really nice set of blogs, and here's actually I've got a smidge of feedback. It's just
cool.
Yeah, so here I'll read it out. So it says here, did someone bother to proofread these articles? From spelling to grammatical mistakes, referring to Maurizio Shogun Rua as Shogun Hua. Mr. Black's less than stellar effort. Mr. Black's less than stellar effort shows why people go to journalism school to become writers. I'd be surprised if he knew what CP style was. Do you know what CP style is?
I have no idea.
Absolutely. And leave the writing and the fighting to the professionals, Robin. MMA is the only sport I can think of that an emo singer can make it into the professional ranks. Can you see somebody making it into professional baseball or hockey? Like you.
Yeah.
I'm now ad-libbing.
Yeah.
No wonder the sport may never reach the level of societal acceptance as boxing. Wow, because there's some real top drawer people commentating on all the rest of the sports too.
Right.
But anyway, now I'm ad-libbing again. So I'll stick with the reading Neil Davidson's articles. At least his work has some substance and isn't a high school popularity contest. Like Mr. Black's work, dropping names like it makes this article more interesting. You've never done that before on the show. It's amazing that you've never done that.
No.
You know the saying, you get what you pay for. And that was from a fellow, James in Peterborough, who was kind enough to write that
England,
response.
I believe. It was pointed out to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, if I may respond.
No, I think that's probably...
Number one...
Actually, we're running out of time, Robin.
Well,
we should probably move on.
I'm not a journalist.
That's
I don't
true.
know how to write.
100%.
In fact,
I agree with you. I can barely read.
They merely just kind of said, this is the only emo fag, and actually I'm a heterosexual. Not that it matters. I'm down with everybody.
I don't think it said you were
He's
fag.
suggesting that, I believe.
No, it said emo singer.
Oh,
That
okay.
was it,
Same
emo
deal,
singer.
really.
Okay.
But I'm the only emo singer that is attempting to be an MMA fighter, and I think that gives me a unique perspective, which is why they hired me.
You know what it is? It means you have a story.
Yeah.
There's a story behind the guy who's writing the blog.
Right. See,
and which is part of the draw for why people would write such a poorly written blog.
Right. Yeah, it certainly isn't because of my writing skills. I'm a bad writer. I'm a mediocre fighter, and I'm actually a below-average singer. And I think probably what irritates people sometimes is they go, how the hell does this guy get to do anything?
You know what it is?
Yeah.
You're chock full of spunk.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Personality.
But you know what?
You know what? You've got some personality. I'll give you that.
Truthfully, I love getting a chance to do this kind of stuff.
And you do tend to gab quite a bit.
I love having like a weird MMA show. I love writing for the National Post.
Right.
I love fighting. And, I'm trying to go off on a little adventure.
You know what the good news is, though? You're doing what most people don't do.
Yeah, which is what irritates people.
Probably.
Yeah.
They have dreams and aspirations, and then they kind of don't follow them, right? They just kind of wish they were doing the thing that they really wanted to do, but they're not willing to do it. I got to give you some credit. This is the one time. I don't think I've ever given you credit on this show.
Weird.
I'm going to give you some credit, and that is I'm going to say Robin actually does what he really wants to do.
Yeah.
And you are one of the few people on the planet that does that. So congratulations.
That's the weirdest experience I've ever had in my life.
Congratulations,
Wow.
you
Weird.
giant loser, emo singer, bad fighter.
Yeah.
But good for you for doing it.
Wow, that freaked me out. Wow. But yeah, thanks or something.
So tonight we have to cover off the contest.
Right.
Which you've been dodging.
Yeah.
Robin's been dodging this contest the last 3 days. Over 130 entries into the contest
For those
to give
of
Robin
you
a nickname.
who just came along,
just shut up already.
Tell them what
yes,
the
contest
is.
is to win an Affliction t-shirt, which is an awesome t-shirt.
Yeah.
But that's not just the only reason. I mean, one, you're getting a fantastic t-shirt.
But
two,
is the contest?
You give Robin a nickname, and it's a fighting nickname that he has to come out to when he fights for the next 20, 30 fights in 17 years that he's fighting when you're 75.
I'm so old.
So this is, you're now naming an actual fighter, which I've never had
Barely
a chance
a fighter,
to do.
let's face it.
True, an emo singer fighter.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not emo. I don't even get that.
Hey, come on, you've got blue streaks in your hair, and it's all. But and needless to say, you'd be doing this, and so lots of people were like, "Damn, I want to name Robin.
I want to name that.
I want to
freak,
give that jerk off a nickname."
Yeah.
So we had some polite ones, which we completely ignored.
Yeah.
And then we also had some ones that had a lot to do with the word Robin and black.
Yeah.
Which some of them were actually pretty creative, and but some of them were pretty mainstream.
Yeah.
And then we also had some awesome ones.
Yeah.
That I thought were pretty freaking awesome.
Personally, I think they kind of all sucked, and I only mean that in the nicest way because I appreciate somebody trying to come up with a nickname.
But we're gonna have to talk about this later.
It's not their fault. I'm just gonna say quickly, it's not their fault. My name doesn't lend itself for having a cool nickname. It just really doesn't.
130 people would disagree with you.
Well, okay, but we'll talk about it later.
And some of them sent in multiple entries.
Yeah, most of which are, again, not
Whatever.
their fault.
We're going to go to break right now because, again, we're wasting a ton of time.
Please,
And when we come back from break, we're going to have TJ Grant, who did an awesome job in his UFC debut. And he's from the Maritimes. He's a Canadian boy. And
first UFC fight.
Yeah, his first UFC fight, and obviously he did just fine.
Yeah,
so
let's get him on the phone.
Let's get him on the phone. We'll be right back on No Shit MMA.
1 minute.
Right. We'll be right back. Thanks so much.